If you not ball hog, then die.
So I know Bruce doesn't necessarily make music. He's more of the Ian Connor of Twitch, which kind of sounds crazy, but listen to me real quick. Ian Connor was known for somebody who has really impeccable taste, really pinpointed. You could really see an aesthetic and know that Ian Connor had his hand in it. And that's kind of the same with Bruce. He's so, conscious of what he likes and what he doesn't like, that he's able to create a style around his whole persona, whether it's, the music he listens to, the fashion he wears, the interior designs of his room, like the cartoons he likes. There's so much about Bruce that makes him such an appealing streamer to watch, that his audience says, I trust in your taste. I'm trust to listen to anybody you think is fire nowadays. I'm willing to go out there and say that Bruce is the biggest cosign in underground music right now for the youth and generation of like streamers and watchers and things like that and social media. There's no bigger cosign than Bruce. And all these Instagram pages who post these artists here and there, their blow up is coming, all these kind of like prediction kind of stuff. It's all for money. You could tell it's not organic, authentic. They just pick their biggest song and say like, oh, this is going to be the next TikTok trend. And then they don't care about them in a week. But Bruce, when he co-signs an artist, you could tell that he's listening to it day in, day out. It's part of his routine. It's part of his playlist. He's somebody that you could tell when he says an artist, he actually likes them. He's not afraid to tell people what he likes and doesn't like. He's somebody who's more see-through. He's more transparent, and that's something that you need a lot in this music industry. You need to be able to say what's good and bad instead of just saying everything's good for, a paycheck. So I respect Bruce for that he's willing to say what he likes and stand 10 toes down on it, That's admirable. And what he did with that is that he made a collective called a Ball Hog, which basically are artists that he feels like he can help their hand in terms of like making a career in music. For example, some people on this collective like Protect and Sneak are the music guys, and they're putting out a lot of music, and Bruce is in their music videos. Bruce is shouting them out. Bruce is bringing them out to Japan. Well, I don't know if he's bringing them out to Japan, but they're going out to Japan together. They're getting him familiar with his audience to the point where it's basically like a branch off of the Bruce Drop 'em Off tree, like Ian Connor and Playboy Cardi and things like this. And I think that's a smart way to do it. If you know you can't make music, bring people on that you think are great musicians that make great things. Now, there's allegations that Protect is his cousin because they look similar. I don't really care about that. I think if your cousin makes great music, your cousin should be the first person to try to put you on and put your name out there, like your family. So who cares, right? You guys are hating on him because he's trying to bring up his family. That's crazy. But even if they're not family, his music is really interesting. I'm not going to say it's the best in terms of like, I want to say it's still amateur. It's still SoundCloud-ish. Like, he's coming up for sure. But what I will say that sets him apart from a lot of the other rappers within his genre, like the rage hip hop stuff, is that the music is very similar. There's not a lot of experimentation. There's a lot more than other people for sure, but it's still within the same realm and beats. But the lyrics is what sets him apart. The lyrics is what makes Protect's music. You could tell that he's trying hard. You could tell that he wants to have this classic feel. He wants to have that karaoke song type of music, not in terms of like you sing along to the whole song, but there are lyrics that just hit you, that are memorable, that are just like, oh, he's going for that classic feel. He wants something that lasts long. He wants something like a Supreme box logo. He wants something that his generation is going to know for generations, for years after they're old and, gray and things like this. And I respect that a lot. I think, Bruce needs to, go in that lane more than just the other streamers who try to catch on to what's trendy now and then just keep moving on to whatever trends hopping onto next. I'm not going to give any names, but I think you guys can understand who I'm talking about. But my thing with Bruce is keep going what you're doing. I fuck with your shit. All this other hating shit about the whatever, just put it in the past. Who gives a fuck? Just go out there and hoop.